Hi students, once again welcome back to our online classes. Now today's class we will learn about the quadrilaterals that we have learned the previous class. It is that what are polygons. We learned very detailed manner what are the polygons. Now one of the important polygon part is that quadrilaterals. Now what do you mean by quadrilaterals? Quadrilaterals are the figures, they are closed figures and which are made up of always line segments, but it is the difference is that these quadrilaterals, all the quadrilaterals will be having only 4 sides. But according to the nature of sides as well as its angles, we can classify into different types. That we are going to learn in this particular lesson, that is which are the kinds of quadrilaterals based on nature of sides or angles. So according to the nature of sides, first one of the quadrilateral we are going to learn is trapezium. Now what is meant by trapezium? Trapezium is a quadrilateral which is having 4 sides, and you can see that in this picture only opposite sides are parallel. You can see that only one pair of opposite sides are parallel. Other 2 sides are not at all parallel. Now what are parallel lines? In your small classes you have learned that what are parallel lines. Parallel lines are the lines which move continuously without any intersection. For example, the lines which moves continuously without any intersection. That means it will always keep the distance same. But in the case like this, if you draw the lines, you can see that the line which is drawn, when it moves, it will intersect each other. So such lines are not parallel lines. But the lines which are not intersecting, such lines are known as parallel lines. Parallel lines, so many examples you have learned. You can see that the scale has parallel lines. Even the blackboard has 2 sides are parallel. Even these sides also. So 2 pairs of sides are parallel. So many examples we can get it. In the same way, in trapezium, only one pair of, wherever I put that arrow mark, these 2 lines are only parallel, and you can see that the other 2 lines are not parallel. If you try to extend this line in both the lines, when you try to extend, it will meet at a point, it will intersect each other. Because of that, line AB and line segment AB and line segment DC is not a parallel lines. So only 2 lines are parallel lines. Then again, it is having the diagonals. Previous class we learned that diagonals means the line segment which is joining 2 non-consecutive vertices. So here there are 2 diagonals bisect each other in the trapezium. So trapezium is a quadrilateral. But you should remember the properties. Now next we go to the kite. When talk with the kite, about the kite, you all will be very happy. Think about the kites. Same thing, kite is also shaped like our own kite itself. And there, what is the difference? You can see that 2 consecutive lines are equal. Here you can see that 2 consecutive lines are equal. That means here AB is after next line, AB is next line it is AD. So AD and AB are equal. So consecutive lines, next to next. Consecutive numbers we have learned, continuous numbers one after the other. Same way, one after the other lines will be always equal. Here BC and CD will be equal. Such kind of this one we call it as kite. Again we draw the diagonals for this kite. You can see that it will also bisect. Not only bisecting, it is bisecting at a right angle, that is 90 degree. Right angle means 90 degree. So diagonals bisect at 90 degree in the kite. These are the important properties of a kite. Here you can see that in the picture. Here trapezium, I said only two lines are parallel. In kite, I said that consecutive lines are equal, and you can see that only the consecutive lines are equal and the diagonals bisect each other at a right angle. Next one, third type, we call it as parallelograms. Now, parallelogram is a very familiar with you, that word itself. All that two pairs of line segment, that two pairs of sides are parallel. So, such kind of figure, we call it as what we call it as parallelograms. Parallelograms, what is the first property? It has two pairs of lines are, two pairs of sides are parallel. We can write it also parallel lines in symbolic way. That is that a line segment AB parallel to line segment DC. Again, line segment AD parallel to line segment BC. So that two pairs of opposite sides are parallel in a parallelogram. Now, again more properties, you can see that even in this is also having the diagonals. Parallelogram, the diagonals are, the length of the diagonals are always equal. AC is equal to BD. And the other thing is, in a parallelogram, there are adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are always supplementary. Now, what do you mean by supplementary? Supplementary means the sum of the measures of angles will be 180 degree. So, here angle A, measure of angle A plus angle D, measure of angle D will be 180 degree because they are adjacent angles. Adjacent angles, total always will be supplementary, that is 180 degree. Same way, D is supplementary, adjacent to the C, and this angle C is adjacent to the angle B. In that way, we can say that adjacent sides also. This A, that AB side has adjacent side. Which are the sides of adjacent sides of AB? That is A, D and BC, which is touching, which is continuous with that line. That we call it as adjacent sides. Same way, adjacent angles also. Then another property is that in a parallelogram, you can see that opposite angles are also equal. So, measure angle A is equal to measure angle C. Measure angle D is equal to measure angle B. So, these are the properties of parallelogram. By looking at the picture, easily you should understand that two pairs of sides are parallel. Opposite angles are equal. And adjacent angles are always supplementary. Okay. Now, parallelograms are of different types according to the sides and angles. Out of that, one is, we call it as a rhombus. In rhombus, what is the main thing it is? That we can say that in a rhombus, all the sides are equal and pairs of sides are again parallel. Then you can see that opposite angles are also equal. And in rhombus, you can see that diagonals bisect at a right angle. Diagonals bisect at a right angle. One more we have learned bisect at a right angle, that is kite. Kite and rhombus diagonals bisect at a right angle, perpendicular lines it makes. So, that kind of a quadrilateral we call it as a rhombus. Opposite angles are always equal. Even all the parallelograms, one of the properties that adjacent angles are supplementary. You should know these properties, then only you can solve the sums according to the given properties. So, that we call it as a rhombus. Now, here also in the picture you can see that rhombus is looking in this way, that is all the sides are equal and diagonals bisect each other at a right angle and opposite angles are always equal. Now, another one of the parallelogram is rectangle. Very familiar you are with these rectangles. Rectangles, also you can see that two pairs of sides are always parallel and all the angles are right angles and diagonals bisect each other. They are not at the right angle, but it bisects each other, and both the diagonals measurement, the length of the diagonals are always equal. That we call it as a rectangle. You can see that a rectangle, and all the properties. Both the sides of a rectangle are parallel, and all the angles are right angles. Diagonals length is always equal. Now last one we can see that what we call it as a square. Squares are also known as a quadrilateral, and which is coming under the parallelogram, and all the sides are equal. Opposite sides are always parallel, and all the angles are right angles, and it has also can see that equal length of quadrilaterals. Diagonals are of equal length, so that we call it as a square. So these are the important types of quadrilaterals according to the nature of angles and the sides, and all the properties you should remember that, so that we can continue that with the solving the sums. Come on, using the properties, whatever we learned about the quadrilaterals, we can apply in this particular problems. Now here first question is that find the values of unknown. Here the unknown numbers are x, y, z. Here x, y, z, measure of angles x, y, z we have to find out. So first we will observe the figure very carefully, so that you can get it, some of the reasons why this angle is this much and that much. Now it is a parallelogram. So we learned so many properties of that. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So 50 degree, if here it is means, it can be angle 1 also can be 50 degree. Then you can say that previous one we learned that it makes, angle 1 makes a linear pair with the angle z. So total sum will be 180 degree, and one is getting, another we can find out. Got it? So one is also got, then z is also getting. Then you have learned that opposite angles again adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are supplementary. So 50 degree here means your x can be find out. Total sum is 180 degree. So 1 is 180 minus 50 degree. So here we get x is as a adjacent angle. So once you get x means x will be always equal to y, because opposite angles in a parallelogram is equal. So this way we can solve this given problem. So let us start. So first we will write that angle 1, measure of angle 1 is equal to, we can write that 50 degree. Reason is what? Opposite angles are equal. It is known as property, opposite angles are equal. Now, angle 1 is equal to 50, so that therefore angle Z is equal to 180 minus degree. 180 degree minus 50 degree is equal to 130 degree. What is the property you can say about this? Because 1 and Z linear pairs. So you will have to write the reason, that is they are linear pair. Now next one you can see that 1 is already got it. Then you can write that find out that 50 degrees here and x. So first x can be find out. Now x is equal to, angle x is equal to, you can say that 180 degree minus 50 degree is equal to, you can get it, how much it is? 130 degree. What will be the reason? Which property we have applied in these two angles? They are supplementary, because they are adjacent angles. So adjacent angles in a parallelogram always supplementary. So it is. So we have to write that supplementary angles, no, adjacent angles are equal. adjacent angles are, sorry, supplementary. Adjacent angles are supplementary. Now, supplementary angle, I explained that in next. Supplementary angle, sum will be always 180 degree. So, now x is getting means what is 130 degree, and you can see that here y also will be 130 degree. Reason is what? Opposite angles are equal. Angle y is equal to 130 degree because x is the opposite angle of y. So, property you will write here, that is opposite angles in a parallelogram always equal. Opposite angles are equal. Thus, we got it. What are unknown numbers? X, Y, Z. Angle X is equal to 130 degree. Y is equal to 130 degree. Then Z is also we got it 130 degree. X, Y, Z. This way we can solve this with the help of a figure. Now let us see that a second problem. Read it very carefully so that easily you will get it. The measure of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram in the ratio 3:2. Find the measure of each of the angles of a parallelogram. Here one important word is given, that is adjacent angles. Adjacent angles means what? Adjacent angles sum will be always supplementary, that is 180 degree. So ratio is given 3:2. So let the ratio of adjacent angles, given angles, let the ratio of two adjacent angles is equal to 3x/2x. We can assume what we have learned like in the equations. Then sum of these adjacent angles, we know that. So therefore 3x plus 2x is equal to 180 degree. Therefore 5x is equal to 180 degree. Therefore x is equal to 180 degree upon 5. We learned that when it goes on multiplication, when it goes to the other side of the division, other side of the equal, it will become divide. Now, reduce form. 3 5s are 15, 3 carry over 30, 30. How many times? 6 5s are. So, we get x is equal to 36 degree. Now, once you get the degree of x, value of x, we can find out the value of 3x. So, 3x is equal to 3 into 60 degree. That will be 60 not, we got it, the x value is 36. 36 3s are, that means 3 6 are 18, 1, 3 3s are 9, 9 plus 1, 10. So, 108 degree, 1 is getting. Now, therefore, next one is 2x is equal to 2 into 36. 2 into 36, how much it is? 72 degree. So, both of the angles of measurement, we got it because its sum will be 180 degree because adjacent angles are supplementary. Now, here we can see that more properties of quadrilaterals can be used and solve the sums. So, here it is the question as the adjacent figure HOPE is a, that is a quadrilateral parallelogram. Quadrilateral under that a parallelogram works. State the properties you use to find them. So, here what is to be find out? X is not given, Y is also not given. So, we have to find out. H is half is given, that is 40 degree, and here outside one angle is 70 degree is also given. So, first we can looking at this, you will get an idea that it is two triangles are made. Then on top that you can see that one of the angle of linear pair 70 degrees is given. So, we can find out the angle 1. Reason is linear pair 180 minus 70 degree. Then once you get your I, then one is getting, but still here we are not got. So here y can be find out how. Another important rule is there, that is in a transversal, that is a diagonal is intersecting, so that alternate angles are always equal. So 40 degree here means y also become 40 degree. Reason is what? Alternate angles are equal. Now alternate angles, when we talk about in your small classes, that 7th standard, you have learned that when two parallel lines moves, a line segment will be intersect at two distinct points. That line segment is known as we call it as a diagonal here. So diagonals inside opposite angles are these two angles, we call it as alternate angles. These two angles are always equal. Same way here the diagonal is intersecting. So these two are alternate angles. Here this is also, we call it as alternate angles. And one more type of angles also you have learned that. Oh, what do we call it as just below this? One is below the line, other one is also below the line. And anybody remember that these two angles are also having another name? They are known as corresponding angles. So when a line when a transversal is intersected, when two parallel lines, which are the angles forming? Interior angles and exterior angles. In interior angles, alternate angles and corresponding angles are formed. Same way here also you can see that the diagonal intersect, so that either side of this angle line, that angles are known as alternate angles. So alternate angles are always equal. Now we got that one is also got, y is also got. Now x is left. Now x is left means you know that how it is to be find out. One of the angle here gets means another one also you can find. That is the total sum of what we call it as a triangle is the property, that is angle sum property of triangle is 180 degree. That way we can solve it. So how will you write it first? Come on, angle 1 is equal to 180 minus 70 degree, because our answer will get to the 110 degree. Now property used what? Which one it is? Both are linear pairs. So we'll write linear pair. Then again we saw that one of the angle is here h is given 40 degree. Therefore angle y is, angle y we learned that it is also 40 degree. Which property we have learned? That we call it as alternate angles. So property you will write alternate angles are equal. Now we got that x is also getting, and here we have to find out that y we got it, but we have to find out the angle x. So that here x can be taken as the opposite angle. Now opposite angle means angle 1 is opposite to the angle x. In opposite angles of a parallelogram is also equal. So here one we already got it 180 degree. So that x will be what? We can write that opposite angles are equal. So that angle x is equal to angle 1, that is 180 degree. 180 degree, not 110 degree. 110 degree, because the reason is opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. Opposite angles are equal. In this way we can find out the measures of x, y and 1. And even some other steps, methods also can be used. It is not that you can use the same properties. Some other properties way also you can make use of and find out the measurement of angles. Now let us see that a second sum. Question is that in both the figures RISK, one of the figure is showing RISK. It is a parallelogram. And CLUE is also a parallelogram. Find the value of x. Only we have to find out the value of x. But when we find out the value of x, so many rows, you can see that to find out, first we have to find out these two angles measures. These two angle measures we should get. Come on, can you say that what will be the method to find out this angle? Yeah, this angle, when you take this one, you can see that in this way we can see that 70 degree it is here, means opposite angle of this. So here also it will be 70 degree. Got it? Now again it comes when you draw this here, it comes in this it is, and you know that a 120 degree angle is adjacent with this angle. So adjacent angles are supplementary. For that 180 minus 120, that will be 60 degree. So here also 60 degree. So 60 plus 70 plus x, angle sum property of triangle, is equal to 180. From that we can solve that x. So in this way we can write it. First we already saw that 70 degree, angle 70 degree. Or in that we can find out that opposite angle of angle L. Angle L is equal to 70 degree. Therefore, angle E is equal to 70 degree. Property we write, opposite angles of a parallelogram is always equal. Opposite angles are equal. So we got it that E is 70 degree. Now let us see that I told you that S can be found out. Now here S and 120 both are supplementary. So that total sum is 180 degree. So angle S is equal to what will be 180 degree minus 120 degree. That will be 60 degree. 60 degree. Then reason will write what? Adjacent angles are supplementary. Adjacent angles are supplementary. Okay. Now we got both the angles E and S. Now we have to find out X. Because it is making a triangle. We can use that angle sum property of triangle. So, now therefore, we can write X plus angle X plus angle E is given, that is 70 degree, plus angle S is also got, that is 60 degree. Total will be 180 degree. Therefore, X is equal to 70 plus 60, 100. X plus 130 degree is equal to 180 degree. Therefore, angle X is equal to 180 degree minus 130 degree. Therefore, X is equal to, that is angle X is equal to 50 degree. Thus, we found out the value of X by using the different properties. First one is opposite angles are equal. Second, adjacent angles are supplementary. And third, we have to write the property, that is angle sum property of triangle. So don't forget to write the properties, whichever it is there on the side. Half mark for the answer, but a half mark for the properties. So this will be the end of our lesson, and remaining all the sums I have solved and kept in the PDF so that you can solve it in the class workbook. Thank you.